What's going on, everyone? Kame here, and the One Tip series is back. I apologize for the long break that I took, dealing with some personal stuff, but that's all figured out, and you can be expecting a lot more guide videos coming up on my channel in a more scheduled fashion. And if anybody's unfamiliar with the formatting of my One Tip series, let me give you a quick rundown. We'll start off with the basic tips for the champion, followed by suggested talents and loadouts. We'll jump over to what items to buy for this champion, and finish it off with one tip versus every single champion of the realm. Now, as you could probably guess, this one tip video is going to be about Terminus. Now, as many of you know, I'm not a great tank player, but I contacted an old buddy of mine who I think is a fantastic tank player. His decision making and communication is top notch. So, I'd like everyone to meet Kresnik.
Hey everybody, I'm Kresnik. I've been grinding Terminus since he got announced, since he was on PTS, and I currently play Flex Tank for Buh in the PGS.
In case anyone missed that, the team name is Buh. Alright Kresnik, what do you got for us on the basic tips?
The most important thing to know for Terminus is how to properly manage your siphon. Power Siphon is Terminus' most powerful skill. It's effectively a timer. When that timer, your siphon meter, hits 0, you're probably dead. The whole goal of Terminus is to manage your siphon, make the most of it, and allow your team to execute something before that timer hits 0.
Alright. But what about talents and loadouts?
The two talents worth using most on Terminus are Undying and Decimation. Undying for solo tank or against comps where you're probably not going to melt down a single target, and Decimation against triple DPS when you have another tank or if they're going to be pushing you with squishy targets. We can talk about a Decimation loadout. The most important cards in the Decimation loadout would be Necromantic Might, which I would usually put at 5. Forsaken, the CCR card, is important in any tank loadout. And Devastation is really good for self-sustain. If you can lose the Cauterize for one moment, you can heal yourself almost back to full. Good fillers for this deck would be Power Slave, Wrecking Ball, or Hulking Monstrosity. For Undying, the goal is to not die. Hulking Monstrosity up high, we can rebuild him up high, CCR up high, maybe Strength of Stone, the rest is up to you.
Alright, importing Kresnik's loadouts. What about items?
Rejuvenate's a very safe first buy for Terminus. His Power Siphon allows him to cleanse Caught, so having Rejuvenate to heal up faster lets him get back into the fight faster once his Siphon is charged. One level of Bulldozer, which can be bought with Rejuvenate, can give Terminus a lot of value, one-shotting turrets with levels of Forged Alloy, one-shotting Warder's Field, one-shotting Ying Illusions. Plus, Terminus doesn't really get quite as much value from Caught or Wrecker that other tanks do. While Terminus does see value from Master Riding, he gets the most value generally out of Nimble. His need to close gaps between him and the enemy with a long cooldown on his mobility forces him to need some sort of movement speed buff.
Okay, so now that we've got all the basics covered, it's time to jump into the part you've all been waiting for, the tips versus every single champion of the realm. Take it away, Kresnik.
Against Bomb King, it's important to note that your Shatterfall cooldown doesn't get taken away until you hit the ground. This allows you to abuse his Grumpy Bomb. When the timer's about to end, start your Shatterfall, the stun will move you through the air, and as soon as the CC is over, you could do another Shatterfall to go deeper and change your direction. If you want to stay close to a target, like Cassie, you can use Shatterfall at the moment you get hit by a knockback to stay tight. As soon as you get hit by a disengage, start your Shatterfall. If she rolls back after the disengage, you should land right on top of her, ready to swing away on a slowed Cassie. You are a Drogo's worst nightmare. You eat Fire Spit, you eat Salvo, you eat anything he wants to do. And when he has Dragon Punch, you can just run in, get down Mr. President, take the hit, res immediately, remove the value, and get a full heal. Since she's usually tunnel visioning in her scope, Kinessa can be an easy target for any saved up charges that you have. While you might be incredible versus Drogo's, Leon is incredible versus you. If she's using the dash distance build, you're never going to get close enough to hit her. If you do manage to catch her out of position, try to save a little bit of Siphon as an answer when she's looking for Neil. Surprisingly, things that are standing still and doing a lot of damage are really good for you. When Shaolin uses his planted, soak it all up, send it right back into his face. Strix is just as easy as Kinessa to hit the charges on, but you're going to get a little less value if he's running Roost. While you can't completely absorb the Firebomb with your Siphon, it does break on your Siphon, and if it does, the center of the fire will be further away from you than if you hadn't blocked it at all, allowing you to walk out of it faster. Victor's ult originates from the center of the marker on the ground. If you Siphon the center, you can get a ton of free charges and completely negate the damage. When you're facing a Vivian, if you even manage to get close to her, be really cautious if her shield is up. It can eat almost all of your swings. When Willow's spraying her seeds everywhere, feel free to use the cluster part of the explosion to get free charges. There's a lot of give and take with the Androxus matchup. You can melee through his reversal, but if you resurrect near him when his reversal is up, you're going to instantly die. Try to save your resurrection until his reversal is down. For the majority of the time, Buck's going to be keeping his distance with you anyway. When he does come in close, if he's running Ensnare, try to use your Siphon after he uses his net to minimize the value of the damage bonus. Similar to Buck, Eevee's really not going to be coming in close to you. If she's playing like most Eevees and spamming Wormhole, you can try to play a little more defensive, siphoning on your squishy targets to remove the value she gets from the free poke. Also, Decimation really tears her to shreds. While your Siphon won't block Koga's ult, you can get charges off of it if you're out of the danger zone, and even if you're in the danger zone. If you use your Shatterfall slow on Lex all willy-nilly, he'll just be able to slide away. Try to time your Shatterfall after his slide to keep him trapped in place. Maeve is a pretty tough matchup for you, especially since the Street Justice rework. Don't concern yourself as much with getting as much value out of your Siphon as possible. Try to keep yourself healthy. Against Maeve, that pretty much is as much value as possible. Moji and Terminus have an interesting dynamic. You can completely block and nullify her ult, but if she ults you and eats you while you have res, you can't use it, you're just dead. While Sky's ultimate does penetrate your shield, if you manage to get around a corner, you can stick your Siphon out over the corner and get all the charges while taking none of the damage. Try not to be too cocky playing against Talus. If he gets the upper hand on you, he can just walk straight into your Siphon and melt you at point blank range. If you're not positive you're going to win the exchange, try to keep your distance. One of Terminus' biggest weaknesses is being surrounded and shot from multiple angles, and the best character to exploit that is Xin. Against Jhin, try to be conscious of how much room is behind you. Don't let him put you in a place where you have to be constantly spinning and getting shot from all angles. Similar to the Cassie tip, you can use your Shatterfall after getting booped by Ashe to stay close to her, and if she wants to keep you away, she'll have to use her other knockback cooldown, her Shoulder Bash, keeping her stuck in wherever she is. If Barrack uses his ult to survive, you're tanky enough where you can enter the ult and either siphon the Barrack's damage, not the turrets, or swing away and destroy the flamethrower turret with Bulldozer. Low levels of Bulldozer get high value against Barrack. Blowing up his turrets fast allow you to deny any value he gets from Forged Alloy and Healing Station. The majority of Fernando's pressure comes from his Fireball. Since it's on a predictable cooldown, you can make sure that you siphon when the Fireball's coming to limit the value that Fernando gets and deny him the brand Cauterize. Inaras have a free out to survive your Resurrect. The wall can deny all value you get from it. If you can, try to pressure her enough to use the wall before you allow yourself to die to use the Resurrect. Doing that, you can zone her off much easier, buying more space for your team. While Khan is very good against Terminus, there are a few things you can do to turn the tide. When you have ult and he has ult, try to face tank him. Either he pulls you and then you res after the pull, denying value from one of the best ults in the game, or he pulls your teammate and you can siphon on them to allow your team to potentially come in and kill the Khan, saving their life. Makoa is one of Terminus's worst tank matchups. While occasionally his hook will just bounce off of your siphon, the majority of the time it'll go right through and pull you in, denying your siphon value. Because of this, try to be a little conservative with your health. If you start siphoning at half HP and get pulled in, there's no way out. While you may think that Ruckus's ult does an infinite amount of damage, you might be surprised to find out that Terminus's Siphon blocks an infinite amount of damage. When you think the enemy Reinhardt has Shatter, be sure to... In the Unga Unga matchup that is Terminus versus Terminus, if you interrupt your axe swings with Calamity Blast, you can out DPS purely swinging, allowing you to win trades. A way to avoid some damage against Torvald if you're running low on Siphon is using Shatterfall to go over his head. Most of the time, if the Torvald has nullified up, he'll catch you in the air with it. And as you know, since you haven't hit the ground, it won't use up your cooldown. So since you hopefully have CCR, the nullify will end quickly and you'll be able to jump back in the other direction, messing up any tracking on you. And as a side note, if you're at 95% ult and you really need that Resurrect, if you're hitting Torv bubbles, you won't get any ult charge. So be careful about picking your targets if you really need that Resurrect against a Torv. For a little more distance, when Furia throws out her beam, use it for a jump reset. When you're playing against a Maelstrom Grok, it's amazing to block the shock pulses, but be careful, because he can farm his Maelstrom cooldown off of your Siphon, allowing him to get bounces other places after getting easy resets off of you. Similar to Torvald, if you can get a Grover to cripple you in the air during a Shatterfall, once it wears off, you can get a secondary jump going further away. When you're looking to Resurrect against a Genos, try waiting a little bit. You can recharge Siphon while you're dead, so once you inevitably eat 2400 damage, you'll at least have some Siphon to sustain yourself and maybe get re-healed once you come back. When you hear that snake hissing, try to time a Shatterfall as soon as he throws it. That way, you can get that ever so coveted double jump. Terminus's rage doesn't quite go away even when he's chickened. Even when he's polymorphed, he can still come back. Also, if the pip is really telegraphing it, try to start a Shatterfall right when he fires it. Your Siphon can block the line of sight that Ceres' ult requires. Use this to save yourself or your teammates. Most of the time, when a Ying dimensional links away, she's probably going to come back. You can sit, wait, read a book, but keep swinging so you can get that free damage in when she comes back.
And that wraps everything up. I want to thank Kresnik for providing us with these amazing tips for Terminus.
Thanks so much for having me, Kami.
And I'd also like to thank a handful of people that sat with me through custom game after custom game so we could get this footage for you. Exotica, Trainer Gold, my video editor, Amelia Pino, Shash Ketchum, Soapfox, Huga, Riley, and Howdy How. Without their help, this video wouldn't have happened, so thank you. And of course, I want to thank all you awesome people out there that are viewing this. Without you, my channel wouldn't exist. So thank you so much. Much love. It means the world to me. Before we go, let's engage sellout mode. Kresnik, you got anything?
Yeah, you can follow me at Kresnik TV on Twitch and Kresnik TV on Twitter. I stream 6 days a week, 4 hours to 5 hours a day, and I'd love to see y'all.
Definitely go check him out. Super entertaining and tons of fun to watch. Now I'm gonna break my rule and say if you enjoyed this video, hit that thumbs up button, hit that subscribe button, don't forget that bell, let you know when new videos come out on my channel. Expect a lot more guide videos to be coming out here soon. I'm gonna go get back to grinding on my next tip video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.
I was about to just burp in the middle of that if I didn't stop.
What, are you gonna pull a Rick on me?
Morty, you gotta use your siphon, Morty.
Oh my god, I've gotta add that in. Hey, thanks for watching. I'm not gonna be one of those people who asks you to like and subscribe, so I'm not gonna ask.